All right, what's up everyone? I'm going to try to do this kind of a different perspective here. Keep in mind we're going to have to aim off the cliff. Anytime when you aim off this cliff, it's going to kind of change the way that your ball comes in. So you'll have to consider that. And I'm just going to try some things out here. The ball's going to land shorter than whatever it shows when you aim down into the low ground. So it's never going to carry to the spot that you see, even with the tailwind. It's still not going to carry to that spot. So what I am going to do is I'm going to use the notebook tool, wind direction, just to get myself an idea. We are going to switch to Apocalypse. Let's just say, hypothetically, we're talking an 11 wind. I still think, it's going to carry very close to that 9-ish rings, more or less. We're going to go into overpower. Wherever we can point to, let's say it's up in these trees, it's probably going to land back here because we're aiming on lower ground. So as I mentioned, that's going to significantly change the way that this lands, as it's going to land shorter. You'll see it happen right here. So let's see this shot happen. You can see he aimed down to the lower ground, and let's see where it lands. So you can see that it's landing right on the front of that island. So he needs to use some kind of topspin approach. Same thing's going to happen to mine. Okay, but what I'm going to try to do with the Berserker is I'm going to try to get it to where it at least carries farther than where you just saw my opponent. So instead of me landing here, I can land more up in here. And what I'm hoping that that does is allows me to maybe get just a little bit more aggressive with my topspin. I'm thinking, somewhere around here. And if I can just get it to kind of scoot off this rough or just barely cross that fairway, it might give myself a chance. Keep in mind, a little bit smaller wind for me. 8-ish ring somewhere in here. And, I'm just kind of winging this. I have no idea if it's going to work out. It's not a shot that I typically do. Just try to play my wind effect a little bit. Great ball. As I mentioned, it's definitely going to land shorter. So let's just see how it runs out. It looks like I actually hit the fairway, so it's probably going to roll through the green, which will be okay. I'll just be on the back fringe, which will also give myself a very good chance at the pitch. What you'll see, especially when you can get on the fringe here, and that's one of the reasons that I kept off the full top spin, is because I was a little bit worried that it could hit the fairway on the second hop. And if it does, you could potentially roll out of bounds. So that's why I was being very careful with my top spin there. To try to keep off of that, but you can see that my ball lands just a little bit longer. It makes it a little bit easier. However, you still probably want to do some kind of scoot through that rough. So you're just going to have to play around with the top spin and just hope that you can just clip the top tip of it and get it into the green enough to make the putt. You don't want it to just gently roll into the green, so you do got to be a little bit careful. But here you can see what my opponent's doing with playing the slope, which is more or less the way that I'm going to try to play the pitch. So here you can see Rapier 7. We're going to, maybe try to do more of a top spin type approach. And I'm assuming, maybe right around quarter club here. More or less where I am. So very, very small ring adjustment. Somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 3. And you'll see that it's really not deflecting the guide too much. So that's about 3 rings. And I'm hoping with the extra wind effect on this ball that it just ends up, kicking right towards the hole. And just a millimeter too much overcorrection. But you can see, especially with some practice, you guys are going to be able to really dissect this and give it a very, very good chance. Guys are going to be making that right and left. It'll be easy to get it. If I'm already on Monday, already kind of getting, after 2 playthroughs, like very, very intuitive with the way that I'm going about doing this, means it's only going to take a couple more tries to make sure that it's kind of working out the way that I want. And I'll just have to do minimal tweaks to get, the run out that I want. I might not be able to go for the hole-in-one because it's a very tough wind. Keep in mind that the ball's going to land very short. On the, anytime you aim off that island like that, it's going to land short. It's just going to happen. So it's basically a glitch in the game, but it's just something that you have to know about. Like, you have to know that it's going to happen, because that's the way the dynamic of the game works. So since the game works that way, you just need to know how to, handle it. And, with a little bit of practice, you guys are going to be all over that thing. And, that's already, we're already looking at, a drivable par 5, and we're looking at 2 par 4s that are, pitches for eagle or putts. So, very, very low scores are going to be happening in this tournament. I'm trying to get you guys prepared, make sure that you're able to get it. If you don't feel comfortable with these clubs, probably a little bit more fair to step up to master, to be honest with you. So keep that in mind. Good luck, and I'll catch you guys on 6.